Hey everybody, Raven here. I just got back from the Tyler, Texas coin show with my biggest ever coin haul. This is literally over $6,000 worth of coins, ladies and gentlemen. There's so much stuff on here. It's unbelievable. And we're going to get right into it. I apologize up front because this is going to be a long video. But let's do this because we got a lot to show. First of all, I found some 1992 Libertads. These things are gorgeous. I'm going to move the camera in a little bit because we got to have our lighting good. I found three of these bad girls together, and I think those are just epic. Found some BU 20 centavos. This one's from 1942. We have 1939. And 1937, ladies and gentlemen. All very gorgeous examples of Mexican coinage. We have from 1899, 10 centavos, Mexico from Zacatecas. We have 2 reals from 1811. Very, very cool. Matter of fact, this one would go this way because this is the pillar style. And then we got some pesos, some BU and AU ones. This is 1934, 1938, and then 26 is considered AU. And that is because when you look at the shins right here, you can see that's the highest part of the coin. It's got a little wear, but still really nice to get my hands on some coinage. And then 1935 is the last one of the pesos. Then we have 1949 Casa de Moneda. There was only 1 million of these minted. You rarely see them, and I'm very, very stoked to get my hands on one. I own another 1 or 2, but I hardly ever see them. 1893, 8 reals from Guanajuato. Very cool. That thing is in great condition. 1797, Britannia from Great Britain. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a epically large copper. And this one is in beautiful condition. A lot of times when you see these, they're kind of beat up. They're hard to tell what they are, but people just know that one's in great condition. Another cool one that I hardly ever see is this right here, the Mexican 50 pesos from 92, the Eagle Warrior. Very, very cool. That is an epic little coin. I keep saying epic. 1939 Canadian silver dollar. Another one that we don't see very often, especially in that good of a condition. That thing is actually very, very nice. Up next, a quarter from Hawaii, 1883. These are hard to get your hands on. I'm telling you, I got lucky at this show. I got a lot of stuff that was surprising. 1875S, 20-cent piece, ladies and gentlemen. We hardly ever see those. I think in the amount of years I've done auctions, I've had like 4 of those total. 1862, 3-cent silver. This one is an AU condition. Very, very nice. Got some little dark spots on it, but still, that thing is exceptional. You don't really see the 3-cent silvers in that great a condition. Then from Japan, I got the shoes. I got 4 of them. They're all basically the same coin. So I'll just show real quick. These are all uncirculated and very, very cool to have. For those of you that don't know what those are, that's Japanese samurai money. The guy came up to my table with this. It's a 1-ounce silver that is actually really, really cool looking. Unfortunately, his didn't have the certificate, but here's the thing. They only made like 100 of these of each design, and this one is pretty epic. It's got a little crack in the case, but that thing is still cool. I've only seen those a couple times. We got a really cool little Year of the Snake 2025. And that's a 1/4 ounce of silver right there. Very neat. And next we have these little 1/2 ounce bars. I have one that was a gift from Rich Fontaine that's actually like 2 ounces, I believe. And I had never seen the 1/2 ouncers before. I didn't even know they existed, so it was cool to get my hands on those. Doing little custom cases. This is probably the coolest find of the trip, and this is a 1935 Buffalo nickel with right there the entire head of the nickel is under a massive cud. Somebody might also call that a die break, but that thing is absolutely gorgeous. You don't see a lot of errors that way from Buffalo nickels, so happy to get my hands on that. Now, this whole thing here, this table is a lot. This book is an entire book of Franklin halves. The entire date run of everything. So there's some in here that are very nice BU, and some are, circulated, but every spot is filled with Franklin halves. Every date, every year. And, you know what? We even have some extras at the bottom, which is kind of cool. But, some are BU, like I said. Some are circulated. But it came with the Dansko album, so I can't really go wrong there. 1982 South Africa BU commemorative. This is before they started making the silver Cougarans, way before. This is a little commemorative that they made in 1982, which I don't see fractional Cougarans ever. So I saw that, I had to grab it. All right, next item up, we're going to start with the cents. We have a 1934 PCGS Slabbed MS66 red. Very nice. And then a 1930S, and I'm going the wrong way. I'm gonna jump to the dollars and work our way down. I forgot I set this up in all chronological order here. All right, next up we have an 1878S first year Morgan silver dollar MS63. Then we have one that is actually a VAM of the same year with what's called the long arrow shaft, where the arrows here are longer, which is cool. In this condition, this coin is like $160. It really surprised me. We have two 1881 S's that are both MS63, PCGS and NGC. I think the NGC one's a little nicer. It's kind of amazing how you can put coins next to each other that grade the same, that look way different. Beautiful 1882 MS63. Look at that toning. That thing is epic. You don't see that kind of toning every day. Trying to keep this in some order here. Got a lot. I think I counted almost 50. I think it was 47 slabs. All right, 1884 MS63. NGC slabbed and certified as well. Morgan silver dollar. 1885 and the fatty holder. This thing's a 64 with some gorgeous toning going on. That thing is epic. I'm really happy. This show was a lot of fun. Got some great stuff. Look at this Morgan. MS63 1886. A common date, but the beautiful toning on the obverse and the reverse. 1890 MS64. I believe this coin is probably worth about $300 if I remember. going off the top of my head on some of these 64s, or it might be this. We got an 1897 at a 64. I might be confusing it with this 1898 Narlands at an MS65 NGC Slabbed. I apologize for the voice. 1890 Norlands. So we had 98, 99. This person had their... That one is an expensive one. That sticker on there said the bid price, the dealer bid price. So retail is a bit higher than that. And then another MS65 1899 Norlands as well. Very cool. We got a few piece dollars. We have a 1922 PCGS slabbed and certified at an MS64. Try to get this lighting fixed a little better for us. I have three 1923s from MS63 up to 64. So we have the first one, PCGS slabbed at a 63. We have a 64, a little bit more modern. It's got some toning on it, which you don't see a lot of. And then a OGH, Old Green Holder original. That one's really cool. I wouldn't be surprised if you cracked that out if it pulled a 65, but you just never know. I like keeping them in their cases. We have a 25 at an MS64, PCGS slabbed and certified as well. Beautiful, beautiful coin. Let me see if I can... There, we'll get a little more focus. The only Walking Liberty half I got at the show was this gorgeous 1943 MS63 in the old green holder. We got a run of older Franklin's 1948 MS63 full bell lines. 48 Denver with an MS64. 49 Denver. I told you guys this was going to be a long one. We're already at like 13 minutes almost. Or 12 and a half. 51D MS63 full bell lines again. 1950. Oh, that's a 51 MS63. 1952 MS64. Oh man, I'm tripping over my own tongue here. 1952 S MS64 PCGS slabbed and certified. And then, last but not least, a 1953 S, ladies and gentlemen. Very cool. Into the quarters, we have one that is awesome to get your hands on. The 1952 Proof. And this is a Proof 65 Superbird FS 901. When you turn it over and you look right there in the little chest, it's hard to get it on this camera. We'll see if we can get it to focus in. Yeah, you need to see it under a 5 magnification. But that's the 52 Superbird. That thing's epic. A lot of super high grade. Look at this. 1955 Proof 68 Cameo, ladies and gentlemen. 1955 at a Proof 69. 1956, again, Proof 69. That one is really pretty, but look at its buddy. 1956 Cameo Proof 69, ladies and gentlemen. That is an epically high grade for a Washington silver quarter. Here's a 62 at a Proof 69. Then we have a gorgeous Barber Dime 1908 AU58 NGC slabbed and certified. And you can hear the dogs going off in the background. 1942 original bag fragment Merc Dime. This is that little thing they did, little way to get people excited about coinage. 1943 MS66. And then 1945 Denver MS65 and a Trader B holder. Then we have a 1956 Proof 68, ladies and gentlemen, Roosevelt dime. 1957 MS66 Roosevelt. 1958 at a Proof 67 as well. 1963 Proof 68. Then I got a Buffalo nickel, 1938 Denver MS66, with a little bit of rotation to the die. That's kind of common for Buffaloes, but pretty cool. A 1944 S at an MS66. That is a beautiful war nickel. Then a 1950 D. We got two of these. This is a 66 and a 65 grade. These have come down quite a bit from their original pricing, but still cool to find them. And then our last coin of the group, an error slab. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a 1961 Jefferson nickel inside an NGC slab of 1951, Proof 66. Now, that is something you don't see very often, and I figured that'd be cool to share with you guys. If you want to correspond, it's ravenhawkcoins@gmail.com. Our P.O. Box is 721-296, Norman, Oklahoma 73070. Like always, please make sure to take care of one another, and we'll see you real soon. Ravenhawk Coins, have a great day.